Okay, today we're looking at this 1960s Space Patrol tank. It was made in Japan. And it was sent to me because the original rubber treads, this one had been glued and shortened. Maybe we should step back and show you basically how they hold together. These tracks are made from a flat extrusion and rubber. Now remember, this is 1960, so these tracks are 62 years old. It's rubber. It's not very flexible. They're probably going to break. Anyway, they used a piece of metal, they would take two of these areas. Like if I was going to rejoin this and make it shorter, I would cut it off right there, and I would cut one over there, and then I'd bring those 2 points together. Then you'd put this piece of metal that has a slot cut in and around it, and it also has a slot in the back for the centering part, and you just bend that metal around. So they'd hold them together with a metal clip. This one had come apart a few times, and it's been super glued right there, and it also had been super glued a few times there, and the metal clip was damaged, and so it was super glued. But his biggest problem was that after those repairs, because you have to, again, cut at one of these joints and pull things together, it was too small. And even if I forced it onto the toy, the gear ratio that they provided for the drive in the toy simply couldn't move it. It was too much drag for the gears. So I started designing a new set of treads that I could 3D print in TPU, which is a flexible printing filament. And eventually I got the diameter correct where it's not so loose that they slip, it's not so tight that it stops the toy from working. So I actually have a set of working treads on there which look identical mechanically to the originals. And the owner of this actually prefers to keep the original treads with it. Me personally, I would keep the original treads with the toy, but not on the toy, because you can't run the toy with these on there. It'll just bind everything up. Plus, if you did run it with these on there and it wasn't bound up, these are just going to break. They're 62 years old. So, toy in action. It's pretty cool. Besides the tread movement, and put 2 C batteries in there, of which my new ones are all out in the hut, so these are going to have to run on some old ones. You can adjust the steering manually in case you want to go in circles or whatever. The 2 treads are going to drive it. The turret on the front will move with a little space driver guy in there, and a light can flash there. There's a space scene that will light and flash off and on back in there. Your on-off switch is there. So we're going to have to go to the floor with this, but before we do, I'll kind of give you a handheld version of it. So there's the treads going. There's your space scene. There's your gun part. As you can see, it cycles between a clicking and non-clicking type thing too. So let's see if we can get something down on the floor going. We'll see how this goes. I don't have a big enough room in here to set it up for circles or anything like that. You see it goes pretty good. So, my new treads work quite well. Probably as good as a toy ever did when it was new. The box that's with it, in case you're interested in this, is a repro box. This was made by Wild Bill Productions. Okay, That's it for today.